Right guys, Dan Hendriksen here. We are still on lockdown, but I thought I'd bring a little head-to-head for you today. I've got from my attic my old Ping i2 one-wood driver. This is steel shafted, 1983 I think these were first brought out, made from maple wood I believe. It's saying that it's got a heel-toe balance, so I thought I would put it up today against my own Titleist TS3. So we'll take them into our little outdoor studio, we'll put them as a head-to-head against each other. I'm expecting to see a little bit of a drop in ball speed from what we're getting out of the Ping compared to what we're getting out of the Titleist. Well, I do hope so. So let's give them a go. Let's see what they feel like, what they sound like, and what numbers they give us. Let's get into the studio. So the first things first we've got to point out is there's a good 2-inch difference in length on these two particular clubs. And the Ping being a ZZ light, which is actually a stiff. It's about 115 gram weighted shaft from what I can see from the actual information from online. And that's obviously comparing to my 5.5 hazardous smoke shafted one that I have in my current driver. I mean, the difference in size now from the driver that I use to what I used to use, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And you got to remember, back in the day, this looked massive to me when I first put this in the golf bag compared to what I was using previously to this. It was a massive difference. So let's get going with my TS to start us off with. Let's just see how far we can get with this club and see if we can start obviously hitting some fairways with it. First shot out there, turning over a little bit left into the trees. Well, look at that shot. Just overturned it. 265 on the carry from what quad's giving me. But you can see there overturning that shape of shot. 2-3 on the spin as well. See if I can just quieten that shape down on this next tee shot. A little bit out the toe, so should turn over if it is, should gear back a little bit on us. No, it's just staying out to the right hand side. What's that giving me? 248, spinning it at 3-4. That was quite a way out the toe on that particular shot. Right, let's see if I can actually hit a fairway with this club today. I'm normally pretty good with the old driver. Again, a little bit out the toe. That is gearing back now. 260 on the carry, spinning it at 1.9. Again, when I get that sort of high toe shot, it can really sort of go get some good, decent yardage, but just overturn it. Right, come on then, let's see if I can actually hit a fairway with this shot. Better strike. That's more like it, just overturning on us. That's a bit more like it. Fairway hit. Decent carry, getting out there. What's that, ended up at like 290 nearly, 288 on the total. Much better. At least we found a fairway. First thing that I absolutely love about this driver from the get-go is how long it is. It's obviously that 2 inches shorter. It just feels like I've got so much more control over it, even just picking up the club. Loft wise, now I've read again online that this should be, because it's a black dot, it should be about 12.5 degrees. Green dot I think was 10.5 degrees, but all around this is around sort of 12 degrees if I remember rightly. Again, in those days you didn't have that printed on the bottom, it just went with 1. That was the main sort of focus. There wasn't much club fitting going on back then with drivers. Let's see what we can get out of this thing. Oh, I've absolutely ripped that. Is that coming back? That is turning over. It's a pretty good hit. The feel off the face was absolutely superb. Yeah, Bob. Yeah, we'll play top trumps in a minute. Can I just hit 3 more golf shots? Yeah, I'll be in a minute, okay? Right, quad telling me on that shot I got 248 yard carry. Let's see if I can get one really turning over on this. Get it out there. Oh, again, really good hit there. A little bit out to the right. I don't think that one's coming back on me. Good strike. A little bit higher on the face it felt to me on that one. just down the right hand side. Is that in the trees? I think it's a bit of a push down there. 231 on the carry from what quad is giving me there as well. Right, let's see if I can get this one to turn over a fraction. Get it down the left hand side. Oh, yeah. Giving that a good old rip. Is that coming back? It just doesn't turn over. It's harder to get these clubs to turn over. Whether that's got anything to do with gear effect, I'm not sure, but 235 on the carry, what quad's telling me there. One more shot, and I'm going to see if I can really get this one to draw a little bit now. So I'm consciously making the effort of turning the draw, shifting my body position more down the right, turning the face in a fraction, see if I can get a little bit more out of this. That is drawing. Got to be drawing. Oh, I've just overdone it. Overdone it. 243 on the carry though, so pretty good from that point of view. But just overcooked it. Right, I'm just going to hit a few more shots, get some more data for the iPad to take it indoors, and then we'll go through the numbers when we get inside. Right, so if we look at the numbers that we're getting from these two drivers, just to kick us off with, Titleist down the bottom here, if we look on the far left hand side, 152.7 as an average ball speed. I've taken out a couple of hits that have been a poorer strikes from both drivers. Comparing that to 144 ball speed out of the Ping. So you can see there, that's a good sort of 8 mile an hour, nearly 9 mile an hour quicker out of the Titleist than we're getting from the Ping. Launching though, 16.4 with the Titleist compared to 16.3 with the Ping, so very, very similar in the launch. If we then move over to spin, 2,300, nearly 2.4 in the spin from what we get from the Titleist, and then 2.6 from what we're getting out of that Ping as well. So pretty good numbers from the Ping on the spin point of view from that, considering it's a 12-degree driver. If we look at peak heights, we've got 39 yards high on an average with the Ping compared to 43 yards high on an average with the Titleist. And then if we go distance carry, we've got 264, which is about where I am with my driver, 260 to 270 as a driver with a decent drive for me. So 264 on an average with my Titleist compared to 242. So it's a good 20-yard difference in what we're getting between these two clubs. Now, the one thing that I absolutely loved when we were playing with the Ping was the length of it. I thought the length of it was absolutely fantastic, just that little bit shorter compared to what we were getting from the Titleist driver or a modern day driver. I still actually think that there's some tour players out there that still do use slightly shorter drivers, maybe just for that little bit of extra control. But I did really like that feel when you were just like standing over it. You just felt like you had so much more confidence. I felt like I was going to hit the fairway with it. Size of it, I mean, you know, the size is huge. And what's interesting is how much bigger this used to look compared to some of the old Persimmon drivers that were out on the market back when this was just way ahead of its sort of time, really, when it came to the size of a club. So if we take the feel of these two drivers, you know, the feedback that I was getting from the Ping driver was just superb. You absolutely knew exactly where you were kind of hitting it off the face. Whereas the modern day tech, you know, that sometimes for a lot of players can be a little bit more difficult to sort of get a real gauge on where they're hitting it out of the face. But gotta say, it was just a pleasure to come back and have a go with the Ping. Glad that times have moved on. Glad the fact that I can get an extra 20 yards out of technology. I think that's quite a nice thing. But what a fantastic little experiment that was. So there's just a little series for you of clubs from the attic. It was very nice to get the old Ping back out again. Let me know, put your comments down below. Have you used a Ping, or are you still using these sorts of clubs? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Remember, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Stay safe.